Hey everybody, Tony D. Little Joan here with a screenwriter's rant about Settlers, a new science fiction movie. Um, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books. Links in the description. All of them are on Amazon. And if you have Amazon Prime, you have Kindle Unlimited, and the books are free to read. But I can afford little treats for little Joan. So check that out. Okay. Settlers. Oh, and one more thing. Bitchute and Rumble. 2 videos today. Make sure you check them out. Very long ones, too. I went off. This one's going to be nice and short, though. Settlers is about, well, settlers, except instead of being in the Old West, they are in space. And this is from IFC Midnight. So you know it's going to be quirky and weird. It actually looks pretty standard. So, except, instead of being a Western, they are settlers on a distant planet, and they got a little robot there who plays with the daughter, and you got the father there who runs the encampment, whatever it is, and they start seeing messages like leave, and people come to the place, and he's got to defend their homestead, and he shoots a bunch of them, but then a bunch more come, and I think they kill the dad. It looks like they kill the dad. I'm not sure. So at some point, it's just the mother and the daughter, and a guy shows up and just is basically, I'm staying. I live here now. There's no other place to go. You got to accept it. So he starts getting the place up and running. I don't know if he killed the father, but someone did, I think. And then the little girl goes out by herself and finds an invisible force field in the middle of the planet somewhere, and then there's the mother trying to think, what is she going to do? She's here all alone. I mean, this really captures the sort of feel of, and he's just like, oh, I'm here. We got everything we need, like he could just step in and there's no problem. But there's obviously some other secret here that's going on. Maybe aliens, I don't know what, but looks interesting. I like the feel of this movie because it does feel very real. Because it's just a mom, a dad, and a daughter, and the dad dies, and it's like, oh, we are screwed. We are so screwed by ourselves. And then other men come. What is the mom going to do? She can't defend herself. And the kid and that entire place, that's the problem. That's the problem. That's why back in the day people had 1 million kids. Because you were hoping that, first off, you were hoping a bunch of them would survive, and then when you got older, you had a crew. You had a crew of people. Yeah, you had more mouths to feed, but the more the merrier. And once you had, a couple of boys and they got into the teenage years, now you have, people who can defend the homestead, as it were. So, yeah, looks good. So the first act, probably, we come to the planet, and it's so great, and it's hard work, but we love it. And then you start seeing the downside to it. These people show up, and first they defend the homestead, but then they come back again. The father dies or disappears, never comes back or whatever. And then this guy takes his place, thinking he could just waltz in because apparently the other settlements are dead or whatever. And, it's about the little girl kind of dealing with that and the mother, So it's definitely an intense movie. I would like to see this because, man, you're talking about the stakes couldn't be higher. It's different when you're in Old West, right? Because, you could conceivably in the Old West walk out of it. You could walk back to civilization, find yourself in another town, somehow get back to the East Coast where, maybe you have relatives, or at the very least, there's just enough people, they probably won't let you starve. On a planet, though, out in the middle of nowhere where everybody's dying, ooh, that's a different story. So I'm liking the premise of this movie. The third act, I don't know. It could go a lot of different ways. The first act's going to be the introduction. Second act's going to be like this guy takes over, and then they're trying to deal with him, and the mother's going back and forth. Should I just have sex with him and just accept my fate here? Because what else am I going to do? She's not just thinking about her. she's also thinking about her daughter, right? But then the daughter leaves, so maybe she's just thinking about herself at this point. Um, and the final act, I don't know. Maybe they kill this guy and take over, or maybe it's just a girl at the end. Who knows? It could go anywhere in a sci-fi movie like this. I would like to see this. It sounds interesting. Let's see. Do we have credits on this one? I'm not sure if we do or not. Yeah, we do. Written and directed by Wyatt Rockefeller. Oh, interesting. Is he one of the famous Rockefellers, I wonder? But he wrote and directed it. Let's see. Do I recognize any of the cast? No. Johnny Lee Miller. That name sounds a little familiar. But the rest I definitely don't recognize. Jericho Motion Pictures. IFC Midnight. Looks like a solid premise. Looks like it's done well. I would see this movie, totally. Despite the relentless sepia tone. So that's Settlers. Do we have a date? When's this movie coming out? I don't think there's a date on this thing. No. Why wouldn't you tell us when it's coming out? I mean, give us an idea. At least say like summer of 2021 or something. I would guess, since it's the IFC, it's hard to tell. I mean, I wanted to say summer, but could be fall. I mean, this could be a summer or fall movie, really. Really, this is an anytime movie. It seems to have a good mix of everything. Some movies are more summery than anything else. This could be summer, but it could also be fall. It also could be really any time of year. So Settlers. I like it. I'll give it an upvote. There you go. From IFC Midnight.